Why, hello and welcome to the PHP. I'm Booker. That right there is Perez. What's going on, my man?
Well, a lot is going on. We're going to be talking today about Britney's much discussed Instagram photos. They're very racy. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez go big. Are Kim Kardashian and Kanye West getting back together? Meghan Markle's family continues to be the worst. Halsey's pronoun drama. Machine Gun Kelly needs to come back down to earth, and some unverified juicy gossip.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I had to say very alleged. We'll get to that. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Let's get to
it. Let's go.
I don't know if you really want to know how I am. I'm good. I was away at Laguna Beach for a weekend wedding.
Really?
So that was fun. Although I've realized, every phase of your life is different and hopefully enjoyable and meaningful. But this phase of my life, I just totally do not have steam or energy at night. Like after it's 8 p.m., even if I have a large energy drink, which I don't normally do, I'm just tired. I'm not roaring to go like I used to be.
I'll often text you like at 9:30 and I won't get an answer to the next morning. I'm like, wow, he's out. Good. Yeah. I'm happy that you're out. Good.
I'm going to bed normally now at like 9:30 p.m., maybe 9 if on a good, like last night I went to bed at 9:15. So, when you're at a wedding, you also start fantasizing about your own wedding if you're lucky enough to get married. And then I said, I'm going to have a 2 p.m. wedding if I get married. Because, then you can celebrate afterwards and be done by 8 p.m. It's perfect. So that's good. And it was just nice to be away from the kids by myself for a little bit. Mm-hmm. And now I'm back and I'm excited to be back. And while I was gone, Britney Spears, I don't even know why I exhaled. It's just like a segue. That exhale, do not infer that. There's no judgment. There's nothing to be taken away from that. Britney Spears over the weekend posted more than one Instagram photo that a lot of people viewed as a negative. I don't want to put words into people's mouths, but looking at the comments, one that was high up underneath her photo was, Britney, we're trying to free you, chill, or things like that. But she doesn't want to chill. And it is unfortunate that some people are viewing her expressing herself on Instagram differently than other famous moms who do the same thing, like Kim Kardashian. And Kim gets similar comments like, oh, you've got kids, you've got no chill. But for some, they're viewing this as a sign of poor mental health. And I don't view it that way. Sincerely, I just view it like she's feeling emboldened to say and do whatever she wants. She's felt repressed for a very long time. And also, because I like to keep it real, she's loving the attention. And she, like Kim Kardashian, knows that photos like that will get her a lot of attention. And there's nothing wrong with being attention hungry, I don't think.
I like the latter part of this. This is a lot of needing of attention. And I think there's something to that, even when it goes back to her speaking, her coming out, her talking about all this stuff. I don't know. I was kind of torn. I was like, does she want all this attention, or does she just want to dance and be fun, or is she liking feeding the machine? And I feel like she's really feeding the machine at the moment. So I don't know. I don't know what that's a sign of, if it's, healthy, not healthy. Who gives a damn? But yeah, like you said, a lot of Chrissy Teigen did that all day long. I mean, there's a lot of, freeing of the titty, if you will. There's so many people that tweeted me, free the titty. But whatever. I'm always down for titties being out.
She did also post like a few, like 3 dance videos as well.
I only saw one. I didn't know. I just saw the one on like Bleacher Report or something, like my sports place. And then I sent it to you and you hadn't seen it yet. You were like, wow. But I didn't know there were 3. That's crazy.
Yeah, she's dancing up a storm and feeling herself. And also it was a little disappointing to see all these people focusing on, ugh, she needs a manicure. Why don't you have a manicure?
Come on, that's just funny.
No, if you paid attention in court, she said in court that she wanted to get a manicure and she wasn't allowed to. That's just mean. And also, I don't know.
Do you believe that? Because I don't believe that. At this point, after everything she said, I think if there was some sort of boogeyman holding her back from doing things, I think that would be one thing that they would say, let's let her do that, So
right. I don't know what's going on, so I'm not going to pretend to have any information.
Right.
I don't know. All I know is in court last month, she said that she wasn't allowed to get a manicure.
Take it for face value. Sure.
I think, the reason she said, if I recall correctly, was because of COVID. That was the alleged excuse given to her, according to her. It's definitely an issue that women have to deal with more than men. But then again, I don't know if as many men do things like this. For example, sometimes I don't really want to see Madonna doing some of the things that she does on Instagram.
Well, there's no social taboo for a man to take off his shirt either. You know what I mean? Like,
but not even that. Like,
it's deemed differently.
No, but not even that. Like, let's say it's a guy and he just gets completely naked and just blurs out his penis area. Peers of Madonna aren't really doing that. But then again, if it was Lenny Kravitz, people probably like, yes, oh my God, wow, yes.
Nobody wants to see the male body. There's nothing beautiful about it, okay?
People want to see Lenny Kravitz nude. Totally.
Well, that's a good point. People would like to see that dick.
There is a double standard, so I have to acknowledge that. And also, Britney is on the, what is the expression, on the blunt end of the receiving side of this or something, whatever, what I'm
blunt
trying to
end
say.
Of the stick.
Yeah, that thing. Because, Dolly Parton last week celebrated either her husband's birthday or their anniversary or something like that by getting dressed up as a Playboy playmate. And, some people might be like, oh, you're 75 years old. You're too old to be getting dressed up as a Playboy playmate. But she did it anyways, and it was fabulous. I don't know. I love that Britney is doing whatever makes her happy. And she's not done yet. On one of her Instagram captions after our last show, she says that she's not even close to saying all that needs to say. So expect her to speak a lot more. I don't think that this is a big deal, but some people in the Free Britney movement are using this development as an excuse to further hate Britney's sister, Jamie Lynn Spears. It has been revealed that the penthouse apartment in Destin, Florida, that Jamie Lynn talked about repeatedly isn't hers, and it's owned by Britney Spears. I don't think I ever read where Britney's sister claimed that it was hers. It just seemed like it was the family's. She always said we, not me or I. But yeah, that girl's still getting a lot of hate. And who's not getting a lot of hate? Because I don't even know if he has social media. Let me check right now. Everybody seems, for some reason, to have ignored Kevin Federline.
I mean, are most people ignoring the other guy that she married? What's his nuts in Vegas?
No, he actually spoke last week. He gave an interview talking about that whole time and how
You
he
did
really
give us a quote. Yeah, you're right.
how he
Has
really
anyone not reached out to Kevin Federline and asked what he thought? I mean,
I'm sure somebody has. Yeah, he has an Instagram, but it's completely empty, no posts. And unless that means he blocked me, but I don't think he blocked me. Anyways, he's just busy being a father to 6 children, I think, or 8 or something like that. He's got a lot of kids outside of the ones that he has with Britney Spears.
damn.
All right. Well, we're going to get to Ben and Jen next. But first, have you bought Magic Spoon recently? You need to get yourself some Magic Spoon. It really is magical cereal. It's not a breakfast food. You could have Magic Spoon for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, for snack. I actually had some yesterday as dessert because I wasn't quite done with my weekend of eating. So I came, but it was a healthy dessert. You know, I ate all weekend long in Laguna. Then I came back and I'm like, well, it's dinner, but I'm going to have some Magic Spoon after I'm done with dinner as my dessert because there was no real dessert in my house. Anyways, it's guilt-free for me. It's got 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving. Just 140 calories a serving. Magic Spoon is keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, low-carb, and GMO-free. You can build your own box or get a variety pack with available flavors: cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, blueberry, and cinnamon. Go to magicspoon.com to grab your delicious cereal and try it today. And be sure to use our promo code Perez at checkout to save $5 off your order. On to Saint-Tropez, which I've never been. Have you ever been to Saint-Tropez before?
I couldn't even point it out on a map. I'm not even sure where it is.
You're not rich enough. Neither am I. That's why we've never been. But, you know, it's like one of those jet set destinations for the ultra wealthy. And Jennifer Lopez is there, or was just there, with Ben Affleck. I'm not sure if her kids were there or were not there, but she was celebrating her 52nd birthday. Alex Rodriguez, I think, also.
I saw that a couple of days before. He's posting that he's on a yacht.
Yeah.
He's like, check. And JLo's like, checkmate. So good.
I think he might have also been in the area, either Saint-Tropez or somewhere around there. But, you know, mazel, enjoy yourself. Ben was there with Jen, and they full on recreated the Jenny from the Block music video on the boat. He was grabbing her butt like he does in the music video. And they finally went Instagram official. Jennifer posted a series of photos on her birthday in a bikini. That's one way to go. Like, you're going Instagram official and in a bikini. She, you know, going back to Britney Spears, Jennifer Lopez loves the attention. She knows that attention for her is currency, because what's also interesting about JLo is she's a lot like the Kardashians, right? Like, music and movies are just pieces of her empire. She's got so many other moving pieces and parts that are also important. You know, she released some kind of skincare line that's like olive oil skincare. I saw her on YouTube hawking a hair loss product for women. Make that money. I also saw her on YouTube hawking not YouTube, on Instagram, hawking vitamins. You know, if the price is right, JLo,
she will take that check. Wow.
She will sell your product. And also Alex Rodriguez, I saw this was odd. Alex Rodriguez is now either the face of, or he created his own makeup for men line. Did you see that?
I didn't see that. I saw that he's a part owner in the Minnesota Timberwolves now.
Oh, is that a baseball team?
Basketball team?
Basketball.
So which he's a baseball player. Who knows? But he went in with a bunch of other rich people. It's probably their money, and he's the talking face of the whole thing. But yeah, he's been trying to get into that. I mean, him and Jen were trying to buy the Mets, and that fell through. So he wants to own a sports franchise. It was shocking to see him own a basketball franchise in Minnesota of all places, but what else?
I don't really think I'm going to be seeing a lot of him in Minnesota.
Yeah, I don't see it, but he likes to be seen. If there's a chance to be seen, if there's a camera or an envelope, he'll be there for the opening.
Do straight men wear makeup? Because I would imagine most of A-Rod's followers are heterosexual men.
No, no.
That definitely.
I mean, if you gave me a sunblock to wear, sure. If even had a tint to it, maybe, but I wouldn't seek that out.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
He's selling concealer. Good on him. Also, in addition to their boat festivities, JLo was seen partying at this club. And it sort of reminds me of Demi Lovato. Ben Affleck has had a lot of issues. We've seen them, those videos. There's video of Ben Affleck being just unable to walk because he was allegedly so drunk. And then you're at this club where JLo's drinking. I don't even know how that works. I mean,
I'm actually shocked because JLo doesn't drink.
She doesn't?
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
she'll have a glass of champagne. I'm not going to say she's never had a drink, but maybe a glass of champagne at New Year's. That's the only time I ever saw her take a drink of anything. She never ordered a drink out ever.
Wow, that's smart. Yeah. Well, all right. Then that makes it maybe less worse. Because if you're with a partner who's getting hammered,
mashed.
I know, and then you're not. I don't know.
My girlfriend doesn't drink like I drink, so it can work.
Yeah, I drank a little bit over the weekend, but not that much. I just don't like it that much anymore. I don't know. I did really like the donuts. There was a donut station.
No one ever accused you of not liking a donut.
That was good. Oh, you see, I'm much rather
partake in a donut than a drink, huh?
Oh, for sure. You're more of a booze person.
100%. If there's a chance for dessert or a drink, I'll take the drink. I'll take a port. I'll take anything. I'd rather have I'd rather spend the sweet. If I'm gonna do something bad, I'd rather spend that currency on a drink than a dessert. I don't need dessert. I don't love dessert.
Oh my God, I love dessert. Well, I'm happy for Jen and Ben. Congratulations. Happy birthday, breaking the internet. And it makes me happy. It almost reminds me of, I love, even though I think it's been on the air for way too long and it's maybe time to, cancel it. I love that the Real Housewives franchise has inspired or given hope to older people, seeing all of these folks over there. No, llévala para que entraste, llévala para allá. Cierra la puerta. Cierra la puerta. All my kids are home from school now. Cierra la puerta. Cierra la puerta. All right. Next time I'll have to lock the door. They're not usually home at this time, but all my kids are now home from school.
Was that Mia?
No, that was my youngest, Maite. Because I told them before I started, I was doing the podcast. And anyways, I love that, we're talking about 52-year-old people. I don't know. That makes me happy. Well, speaking of housewives, that was also a good segue.
Mm-hmm.
This is totally unconfirmed. I am sharing it because I've heard it now multiple times.
Okay.
That does not mean it's true, but somebody just texted it to me and I had heard it previously and I didn't believe it. But somebody that I know who's plugged in said, "Oh my God, did you hear about this?" And I'm like, Well, I had heard about it, but it was rumored, but I just did not think it was true whatsoever.
Mhm.
Now, according to a source that I trust, Erica Jane, whom we've been chatting about recently from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, has had or is having some kind of relationship with Scooter Braun.
Nah. That is juicy. I don't know if I
Yeah.
believe it, but it's juicy. I
Well,
mean, he is getting divorced. There's always a reason you're getting divorced, too.
wait. I have more. There's more. There's
Oh, I love
more.
it.
But
Bring it.
first, so that's also alleged, unconfirmed. But first, I mean, I don't know. I mean, okay, why don't you believe it?
I believe anything. Why not? I don't know. It just seems very
Yes.
quick. Actually, coming off of a divorce announcement, only what, a week, 2 weeks ago, to
Yeah.
already be. But look, Kim Kardashian had split with Kanye, and we were a week off of before we were reporting her with a new guy. So I mean, and I don't know if that panned out to be true. I don't know if it's true, but I know enough from doing this show. Never say it's not true. Never say it's not true,
Yeah.
because you never fucking know with these people.
I think one of the reasons why some are skeptical is, she's older than him by a good amount. I think she might be like 10 years older than him, 9 years older than
Are
him.
we talking about Erica Jane?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. So let me look her up. Hold on.
Yeah. I mean,
Go ahead, talk. I just want to see who this is.
She's like, well put together. She's older than him, and she's a reality TV star. You wouldn't think that he would go for either of those things, but
I'm
good
going to say no. They're not dating.
I don't know. I heard it from a good source. Also, this is not confirmed. It's all alleged. But, well, first of all, even before I get to this, Scooter Braun has deactivated all of his social media, which for him is a huge deal because he loves being front and center. Mm-hmm. He loves being famous just as much as the clients that he represents. So for him to temporarily deactivate or permanently deactivate Twitter and Instagram, that's a big deal. So that just happened. And there's been reports that, his divorce isn't as amicable as you might believe. Unconfirmed. I don't know if this is true, but allegedly he had a side chick that he got pregnant. How does that even work? Like if you're...
I don't know. I have no idea. I can't imagine trying to have a relationship on the side of my relationship. Like
I know, but like
my own relationship is enough work. I gotta make somebody else happy. Oh dear God.
If you're like 40 years old, which is his age, I think, and you're married, but you're screwing around a lot, I would imagine most of these dudes are not using condoms. Then you're just taking the woman. Yeah. Wow. You're taking the woman's word that she's on the pill.
Well, I would even be worried more about disease, bringing that home to your wife. That's just rude.
Well,
rude.
Come on, they're not using condoms.
I think when you have that kind of life, dude, where you're constantly, you're on your phone 24/7, you don't really notice. At some point, you're like, I have no idea who this person's talking to 24 hours a day because they're constantly servicing their clients, right? And then you throw in the mix, being social is also another aspect of it. Like, I'm sure Scooter Braun is not home on a Tuesday night ever. He's probably out making deals happen, making things happen. Especially on your way up, that's what you have to do. I mean, it makes kind of sense. He already made it. You could say he's at the top. He's representing some of the biggest artists. And maybe he said, you know what? I don't need social media anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to feed this machine. I got the means to the end of what I was doing in the first place. So I'm just going to unplug it because it's more hassle than it is that I'm going to get out of it, because he doesn't need to get out of it anymore. So, I mean, I could see that part of it. And I could also see how you could cheat because you're out so much. You're meeting so many people. Opportunity.
I didn't even think about the whole STD thing. Can you imagine though, if you're married to this guy and then you get an STD and you don't, and you weren't with anybody else, like, woo,
that happens.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to Scooter Braun if he's got a baby coming. I don't know. One of his clients, Demi Lovato, has been very vocal about, body image issues and all of these things. Yet Demi was recently called out for posting very photoshopped pictures on Instagram. Just saw that and thought it was a little bit or a lot hypocritical of Demi to be doing that. But you know what? Demi's still working through Demi's issues. So Demi will do what Demi wants to do. All right. We're going to get to Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. But first, do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. And I bet it could be hard work. You know what's easy? Bundling policies with Geico. Geico makes it easy to bundle your homeowners or renters insurance along with your auto policy. It's a good thing, too, because you already have so much to do around your home. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. It's Geico easy. Visit geico.com today. That's geico.com. Meghan Markle is happily living in Montecito and being rich, but her family, not just her father, continues to use the Markle name for gain. Meghan Markle's dad gave an interview with Fox News in which he says, quote, "I will be petitioning the California courts for the rights to see my grandchildren in the very near future." Good luck with that. I don't think he has any legal standing, because if the parents are still together, you can't sue for grandparent visitation if the parents are still together. If the parents are not together, then there is legal precedent. So good luck on that. Also, Meghan Markle's brother, or half brother, I should say, Thomas Markle Jr., is entering the Celebrity Big Brother house in Australia.
Really?
Yes. So he will be doing that show with Caitlyn Jenner and others. Congratulations. I'm happy for them.
You've already been in that chaos.
I know. I would have done it again.
You would have?
Absolutely. For the money, they pay so well.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you hated it so much.
I did, but they pay so well. But they did not want me, because I'm a Celebrity Get Me Out of Here last year, which sucks because I was only on 5 episodes of that show.
Yeah, no one watched that show.
Exactly. I was like barely on it, and then that kind of like disqualified me. But maybe I'll do it in the future. Who knows? Whatever. Also, Meghan Markle's husband, Prince Harry, is writing a tell-all. It was just announced, a memoir, which the royal family apparently is not happy about. Even though I thought that it just was not very common practice. It wasn't, what the royals do, but somebody corrected me and showed me a memoir that Prince Charles released in the 90s that was an official sanctioned, he cooperated with it. So, Harry, though, is being held to a different standard because he shook things up. But, he's independent. He's not part of the machine anymore. He can do whatever he wants.
Are people here caring at all? Because I heard that and I'm like, it's like my interest is definitely waning, anything that they do.
I mean, maybe they don't care now, but when it comes out, there'll be interest when it's released, I think.
Okay.
Especially if there's juiciness in the book, which there's going to have to be. The publisher will be like, oh, no. We need
something.
Yeah.
We need a headline.
we need some scoops in here. So we'll see. Speaking of families and dysfunctional families, this is sad, because for the longest time, they were so happy. And for the longest time, they were inspiring to me. But Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's divorce continues to drag on and be contentious. specifically when it comes to deciding, visitation and the custody of their children. Recently, a judge made a ruling, but now this judge has been disqualified, and everything that he ordered will not be
set into motion. Wow.
Yeah, because the judge, the arbiter, the private judge that was overseeing this, has dealings with Brad Pitt's law firm. So they thought that was a conflict of interest and, quote, violated his ethical obligations by not disclosing that ahead of time. In more family news, this was really nice to see, though. Positive on the total opposite side of things, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West are navigating their split very maturely, which I think is a great sign of Kanye. Kanye's still Kanye, and I'll get to that in a second, but doing things in a way that, is not destructive. I'll say that.
Well, listen, the rap on Kanye was never that he was a bad parent, or a bad husband. There were never rumors of he had a girlfriend or a side piece. I mean, they're at the very, very end, which always happens once the whispers of divorce happen, people start saying crap, but nothing was ever verified. Nothing was ever followed up or anything like that. So I don't know. I think it's a little bit unfair to say the expectation for Kanye would be to be a fuck up. It's not. He was a good dad for what I'd heard.
Yeah, no, I mean, I never said anything about his parenting, but he definitely put Kim Kardashian through a lot, publicly and privately. So it's just nice to see him and her both putting in the effort and handling this well. They went on vacation together. That was really nice. They went to San Francisco to go to this museum. And when you're really, really rich, museums open early for you.
You're right.
So they opened the museum just for the West clan.
Yeah.
And then a few days later, Kim traveled all the way across the country, went to Atlanta, and attended a listening party for Kanye's new album that was supposed to come out last week, but it has been delayed now for a few weeks. Allegedly, it might be a few months or a few years, who knows? And, people that were in attendance at that release listening event said that a lot of the songs were about Kim Kardashian and the family. And there was one song with a lyric that went something like "losing my family." So she's sitting there and having to experience that all. Here's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Wacky. It just seems unnecessary. I don't understand it. Kanye is just like, he gets an idea. And when Kanye gets an idea in his head, he's like, well, I'm just going to do that. Even if it's not the most sensible thing. So that Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta is where he had the listening event. Kanye is now living there. He set up a recording studio at the stadium and is living there until he finishes the album.
Okay.
And a few days after his listening event, he was spotted at a soccer game at the stadium, dressed very Kanye-ish, like wearing like a mesh, like pantyhose on his head. The same thing that he wore to the listening event, he wore a few days later to a soccer game.
Hey, that shit was expensive. You want to get your mileage out of it.
I mean, I can't wait for the eventual headlines. Kanye West evicted. Because who knows how long he'll be there. I mean, hey, at the end of the day, if he's paying them enough, they'll give him one of many spare rooms. So.
Well, speaking of home owning, whether you rent or own, Geico makes it easy to bundle home or car insurance. Having a home is hard work. Just ask Kanye. Get a quote at geico.com today. Easy.
Well, in more music news, that country singer Morgan Wallen is beginning his comeback tour, I believe is the good way to say it. Although what's fascinating is he doesn't even need to begin his comeback tour because after his N-word controversy, his album exploded.
Mhm.
He was selling so much, like country music fans and his fans did not care. And country radio already added him back into rotation.
Mhm.
So he doesn't even need to do any of this, but he is. So that's good, I guess. He sat down with Michael Strahan from Good Morning America and said that, you know, in that video that was secretly recorded, he was just being playful with his friend and he wasn't thinking much about it and blah, 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 blah. He didn't mean it in any derogatory way. He was just ignorant, yada, yada, yada. He went to seek treatment, not for that, but, you know, he was drinking really hard. So he went on a 30-day program and whatevs. There's that. In more music news, this is a good one. Halsey, I forget exactly when, last year or the year before, came out like Demi Lovato as non-binary.
I don't recall that happening. Did we report that? I don't believe that we ever reported that.
Because maybe it wasn't a big deal because
Yeah.
unlike Demi, who came out and said that they wanted to use they, them pronouns, when Halsey came out as non-binary, Halsey said that her pronouns were she, they. So either one, right? Like that's where it gets interesting. You know, some non-binary people use both pronouns, she, they, him, they, whatever it might be. So Allure, the magazine, wrote an article about Halsey and only referred to Halsey as she in the article. And then that upset her. I love Halsey's music. I like Halsey a lot. But if you're telling people my pronouns are she, they, then either one is correct. She was upset that they did not use both interchangeably. That's just not grammatically correct either. That's the thing. I mean, identify.
The world has lost its mind.
Identify however you want. If you
exactly. You want me to call you a tree, I'll call you a tree. But
yeah.
don't like criticize me if I don't get it right, because I can't sit there and dice up the difference between what you just said, what Demi wants and what Halsey wants and how they want to be referred, or she or them. I fucking have no idea. And nobody else does either. Okay. Like fucking get over yourself. Come on.
Well, especially if you established she, they, then if somebody says she, you're not wrong.
You're right. You're already right. You just said it's one or the other. They picked one.
Well, no, that's the thing. You can be both. And then now it's just, I don't know.
Can you be both really?
Halsey insists on it. If you don't refer to them as she, they, then you're disrespecting her.
I love me some Halsey, but I don't understand this one.
What do you guys think? Call us 800-721-1185. Let us know your thoughts. Also, in music related news, and I guess I sort of understand it, but I don't know. Rock stars kind of are in their own world.
Sure.
Actors, while wacky, a lot of them, I think many might be a little bit more sensible and understand how things are done and what you should and shouldn't do. Machine Gun Kelly is in this new movie where he met his girlfriend, Megan Fox, and she's in the movie as well. This film that was produced by Lala Kent's baby daddy, Randall Emmett. It's called Midnight in the Switchgrass. And they refused to go to the premiere for the film, citing COVID concerns. he probably already had COVID. Come on. And I'm sure he's also vaccinated. COVID concerns didn't stop him from going to Vegas and partying, going to the UFC fight and all that jazz. And then he straight up has been trash talking it. He went on an Instagram live and said something. I'm trying to remember the exact quote. He said something
when you
like,
say it, is he trash talking the movie or the fact that he didn't go to he's trash
the movie?
I would never give him another role again.
Yeah. He was on an Instagram live and said something along the lines of, I only do movies that I believe in, with one exception. And then Megan Fox was there and said, not now. Something like that. Mm-hmm. And then he took to Twitter and he said on Twitter on the release day of the movie, he said on Friday, if I don't talk or tweet about a movie I'm barely in, it's because it's trash.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, you got to learn how to play the game, Machine Gun Kelly. And also, come on, the only reason you're being cast in movies is because you're a popular musician.
Well, he was good in the Dirt movie. I saw him in that. I mean, he was really believable. I mean, I guess he can act. So I don't know.
The Dirt movie? What's that?
The Motley Crue movie. He played Tommy Lee.
Oh, yeah. I didn't watch that.
It was funny.
On to some more music news, new releases. Lil Nas X released a music video for his new song or new single, Industry Baby, that was actually produced by Kanye West. I don't really care for the song, but I love the video. The video is great. Mm-hmm. I don't think it'll be as big a hit as the Call Me By Your Name song, Montero, or whatever however it's pronounced. But he's done a great job of capturing people's attention, mm-hmm. and being artistic and artful. And I loved I wish I loved the song, but I loved the video and I loved how wild it was. And did you watch it? No,
he's a one-hit wonder to me, and I'm still waiting for the next song.
Call Me By Your Name went number 1.
Didn't love it. A lot of things go number 1 that I think are awful.
I loved it. Also, new music. Camila Cabello released a new song called Don't Go Yet, which I love. I'm so happy, especially because, her last album, I think it had some medium hits, a couple baby-sized, just not total flop songs like that. Oh me, oh my, I forget, whatever. It did okay, but it wasn't a smash. I think this song is a hit to me. I think it'll do very well, and I'm just happy for her.
I don't think it's going to do well at all.
You don't?
I like it. I think it's a cool vibe, but I don't think radio is going to play it. I don't hear that song being played in Pittsburgh or in St. Louis. It just is a very Latin infused. Sure, if you're on the coasts, it'll get played, but I don't think it's going to capture the imagination of everyone. I just don't. I don't know if it's good enough. I think Selena Gomez tried to do the same thing, playing the music of where she's from, or but
Texas.
Yeah. Well, still, what she's Mexican, Mexican infused music. I think Camila Cabello's playing music like it's Cuban based themed. I think it's interesting, but I don't think it's a great song.
Her biggest hit was a song called Havana.
Mm-hmm. But it wasn't all horns, and it wasn't that. Havana was just a good straight pop song.
So is this one.
I don't think so. I think this one is a very very horns infused sound of a culture. I think comparing the two doesn't make a lot of sense. The name, that makes sense, what you just said, but Havana to me didn't sound like a very, this has a lot of horns in it. This is a lot of,
you're saying that like a bad thing.
No, I'm not. I'm saying I don't think it's going to work is all I'm saying. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah. I hope it. I think it will. I think
it's cool, and if it does, great. But I just, like I said, I don't see it really grabbing the imagination of
what?
everybody in middle America. I just
We
don't see it
don't-
happening.
we don't
I could be
need-
wrong.
We don't need them, you know? Like the song could still be a hit without radio in the middle of the country. Radio isn't as important as it used
I'm
to
not
be.
talking about radio. I'm just talking about bodies in general actually listening to, a type of music that they don't usually listen to.
It's a pop song.
It's okay if you say so. I think
is.
it's more of a. It sounds more like a culture than it does a pop song to me.
It sounds like a pop song to me. Anyways, also, this one I think will do really well as well. Hasn't gotten a lot of buzz, but I love it. Bazzi, that singer, released a song called I Like That. Check it out. In some in some other random news, Cleveland's baseball team changed their name from the Indians to the Guardians.
Yes.
A lot of people did not like this. I love that name, the Cleveland Guardians. That's cool. I think.
My stepdad's a lifelong Cleveland fan. You know, he's an Indians fan, and I called him the other day. I was like, "What do we think about this name?" He's like, "I don't even know what it means." And supposedly, there's some statues outside the city of Cleveland that protect the city. He was telling me. He said he's never heard of anything before. He just kind of dove into it now, but. You know, everybody's got to be politically correct about everything in the world now. It did, you know, I think some words and phrases and meanings don't mean what everyone thinks that they mean. And we've become a society of let's please the few instead of the many. And, you know, that's what the world is. So, you know, whatever.
I think if Native Americans were
I don't know how that my point is, I don't know how upset they really were in the first place. I don't know. And maybe they were. Maybe all of them were like, I hate this. But I don't know. Maybe they weren't. Maybe some people were like, I'm not really that offended by it. It's not derogatory towards like my culture. You know, I don't know. I'm not saying there aren't people that weren't offended, but I'm saying there are people of the culture that couldn't give a shit as well.
I
don't think it's a unanimous thing where everybody said, I hate this. Like I could call my friend, she's a Native American. I could probably just call her and say, hey, were you ever upset? She's a baseball fan too. Were you ever upset that the Cleveland Indians were the Cleveland Indians? I'm betting the answer would be no, I couldn't care less. That'd be my guess. But like I just said, there are other people on the other side of it that, you know, that are offended by fucking everything.
Well, here's the way of looking at it. It's like, you know, we're not a mascot. That's like if you had a baseball team called, you know, back in the 20th century, another way of saying the N-word that wasn't saying the N-word. You know, what if that name was still there for a baseball team? The South Carolina N-words.
Well, that's, you know, that seems to be a lot, but we still call the Negro Leagues the Negro Leagues.
Wait, that exists still?
Yes, of course. The Negro Leagues, well, that was what the blacks played in before they were allowed into regular baseball.
No, but that's still a thing now?
People still refer to the Negro Leagues as the Negro Leagues.
Wait, but people are still playing in that.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I'm talking.
Oh, okay.
That was the name of the leagues. I don't know who named it, but you still refer to it as that. Now, maybe someday we won't. Maybe somebody will say, hey, that's offensive. I just think context is everything. That's all I'm saying. I think we've taken context out of every fucking conversation in the world. And like I said, when it comes to listen, there's like Redskins seems like that's a derogatory word towards Native Americans. I get changing that. I understand it. But Indians that'd be like saying your baseball team's the LAans, you know, like, is that a negative thing necessarily? I just don't think it always is. Now, I think if there's a negative connotation to it, okay, that's one thing. But once again, I'm not Indian, so, you know, I'm not going to make that decision for them. I just think that there's context here that's been removed. Everything is just cut and dry anymore. Like, nope, can't do that anymore. It's like, why not? No one was really, you didn't look at the Indians, the Cleveland Indians, and say, wow, that's a That's awful. They were just the Indians. I didn't even think they could have been from fucking Indiana for all I know. Like now using their mascot and the headdresses and all that stuff. I could see saying, "Hey, we're not going to do that anymore," because that's a little much. But that's just me.
Well, I like the Guardians name.
People in Cleveland fucking hate it. I'll just tell you that they do not like it at all.
Well, that's your new name, Cleveland. Get used to it. Some more couples news. Anne Hathaway's ex-boyfriend of a long time ago, Raffaello Folieri, gave an interview where he spoke about their breakup back in 2008. And I think this is cool, right? Like, he's never spoken about this before. And for whatever reason, he's speaking out now. Maybe because he needs the money, or I don't know why. But he'd been arrested for fraud. He was like some money dude and whatnot. And he says that the morning that he got arrested, after that, and he'd been dating Anne Hathaway for 4 years. For 4 years. After he got arrested, she never spoke to him again. That's kind of cold. That's kind of cold. He believes that she chose her career over him, which I understand, but you could have at least texted him and be like, I have to break up with you or something. Like,
well, it sounds like she did text him to say, I'm breaking up with you.
No, she didn't even do that. Nothing. He never spoke to her again. Crazy. Also, people are criticizing this woman, Amanda Klutz, who is one of the co-hosts of The Talk, because she's dating again, even though her husband, Nick Cordero, that Broadway actor who died of COVID, has been dead over a year. And people are like, so soon or whatever. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
I know people in Miami. I'm not going to mention any names, but I know people in Miami whose husbands died, and not my mom. And within 6 months, they weren't just dating again. They were remarried. So I would say Amanda Klutz is being very respectable.
Is the Cubano, the Cuban sandwich, is that offensive?
No.
Okay.
No. How would that be offensive?
I don't know. How is Indians offensive?
If Indians say it's offensive, I don't know. That's you have to hear.
Well, okay, I'm asking you if Cubans came out and said, I'm tired of the Cubano getting. Am I saying that right? Cubano. That's how the Puerto Ricans. That's how I always heard them say it. I'm just wondering, if somebody said, "Hey, we shouldn't use our culture and attach it to food." I don't know. Just thinking out loud here. I'm kind of stuck on that for a minute.
I think the Cuban sandwich. That's what Cubans call it. I don't know.
Now I want one, by the way.
I bought my mom one. They sell a Cuban sandwich wrap at Trader Joe's. That
can't be as good. Is there a good Cuban sandwich in Los Angeles that you would go hit, or are you not really a big fan?
Porto's. It's the only good place in LA. And finally, Adele has got herself a new boyfriend. She's dating a sports agent, this guy who is LeBron James' agent. His name is Rich Paul. So good on
I was wondering
her.
why we were seeing her at basketball games. I was like, what is Adele likes basketball?
Yeah, it's weird because she doesn't really look that happy at the game.
Right. That's what I mean. Like, she doesn't come across as a sports fan to me, but
Well, congratulations to her. Love is in the air. All right, let's take some calls.
Well, I wasn't ready for that. Oh man. Yeah, I was shocked to see that's what it was. I thought maybe it was a player, but I didn't realize that it was going to be a sports agent. Hold on, I'm trying to find my category here. Here we go. All right.
Hi. So latest hilarious news
Hilarious.
that her kids may not be her biological kids. And it just dawned on me, gosh, none of them look like her. None of them remotely. They're all blonde with blue eyes. And she has darker skin, darker hair, dark brown eyes. You know, the blue eyes are recessive trait, meaning to express it, you really have to have someone in your heritage, in your genes. It's not as easily expressed as autosomal, which are brown eyes. So there is something to think about it. Maybe, just maybe. Donor egg. Thanks. Bye.
I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be thinking about, but I enjoyed her accent. She sounds very hot.
I heard that conspiracy theory. That just seems silly to me.
That they're not her kids or something?
Yeah.
I couldn't care if they weren't.
Hey, it's Alex and Holly. Love you guys. Listen to you all the time. I just wanted to kind of do a comment and a question. With the whole Britney thing, I really don't care what's going on, but I do have a theory. Have you guys ever thought that maybe her new boyfriend, even though she's been with him for a while, has been influencing her to get out of a conservatorship? Or can it be something else? Okay, thanks. Love you guys.
Yeah. I mean, some people are thinking that, but that's not necessarily a bad thing.
I think it's assumed. I mean, if you're with someone, you're usually on the same page about most topics generally, and this is what's going on with her life. I can't imagine he's against it, you know? It'd be odd if he was, right? It'd be odd if he came out and said, no, I don't want her out of this conservatorship, you know? I don't know. Seems to be odd to me.
Hey guys, this is Amber from Seattle. Just wanted to weigh in on the Britney Spears debacle, which, Perez, I agree, it's exhausting at this point. I'm just sort of tired, and I'm not even invested in it, Booker. I mean, I understand what you're saying about, taking a step back and not getting invested because we don't know, but, this poor girl, I agree. I just want her to be at peace, and she's clearly not at peace. Anyway, I had a little tidbit on the Jamie Lynn posting that story with the box of toys right after Britney had her latest court case. And that actually was a story that Jamie Lynn had posted about a year ago after Britney came out of her rehab stint that they put her in. And Jamie Lynn posted it and almost alluded to being kind of disgusted a little bit at the state of the box of toys at the time. Like, it came in this cardboard box and she was almost poking fun of it. And Britney at the time was, being questioned, like, where is she? Why hasn't she been in the media? Well, it turns out she had been in rehab, and media still wasn't that positive about her. Anyway, Jamie Lynn posted that a while ago. This is not a new thing. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. Bye.
I don't know about the rehab either, and I think that's you're about to say, right?
No, I'm confused because that thing that Jamie Lynn posted was recently, not a while. Maybe she did it. I'm just confused.
Yeah, she's saying that's an old story. She said that posting
it's not
is
an old story. She posted it recently. I took a screen grab of it. So that's what's confusing to me.
What about the rehab stuff?
Well, rehab, Britney talked about it in court. It wasn't for drugs. Like, they forced her into that mental health place that, the one where she said, and I was forced to work there every day of the week and all the hours and blah, blah, blah. She was not happy about it.
Damn.
Hey guys, it's Laura. I have a question, Perez. Do you think that Alec Baldwin knew about Hillary Baldwin's ruse? Do you think that he was as surprised as everybody, or do you think that he's just been playing along with the whole time? I was just curious to get your opinion on that. All right, love you guys. Bye.
I remember when we spoke about this last year, I thought that Alec Baldwin did not know.
And I'm like, she's from Boston. Of course he fucking knew. He knows where she's from. Come on. He's a nutty actor. He's like, she's eccentric. He's eccentric. Yeah, he
relationship-
totally knew. Come on.
He would have to, because relationships are, all about trust, and lying in a major way like that. I don't know.
Come on. I know where my girlfriend's family's from. I know where they hail from, what their background is.
Well, and that's another thing. Yeah. He met the
on.
family. If none of the family speaks the fake Spanish
the family
accent.
from Boston. Like, come on. He must have been like, okay. And what was it? It wasn't banana, by the way. Somebody corrected us, and now I forgot what the correction was. How you say, was it coconut?
I knew it wasn't banana.
It wasn't banana. Somebody did correct me. I just can't remember what the correction was.
Hi, guys. It's Kathy from Colorado. I love you two so much.
Oh.
But this whole Britney conversation makes me so angry. I'm so bored by it, because I'm on Booker's side 100,000%. We don't have all the information. And for anybody to sit there and speculate and be like, I 100% agree with Britney. No. I need more information, like Booker says. I need and would love to see some kind of documentation that tells me what she was diagnosed with, as to why she was put in that conservatorship in the first place, and why they decided to continue on with that plan. And to just sit there and just speculate I can't. Like, let's move on. I've found myself and
yeah, but in the people's defense that listen, some people, they want us to speculate. I've had people been like, we're listening for you to speculate. Like, that's what this is. It's a gossip show. And I said, well, okay, fine. Perez does that. He fills that void. I will not. Welcome to the show, people. I mean, come on. It's what I've been since day fucking one. That's been the whole idea of the show. He gives a story. I poke the holes in it. If you haven't figured that out yet, I don't know what show you've been listening to, but that's our show. That's it. I'm the person that calls bullshit, says, I don't believe it. And this is why I don't
know
believe
everything.
It.
You don't know everything.
I'm the person that says that exact phrase every fucking show. I don't know everything, but I do know one thing, that most stuff that's being fed to me is typically bullshit. That's what I know. Let's wrap it up.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching and listening. 800-721-1185. If you have any questions, we'll see you guys next week.
Sounds good. See you, folks.